enable a business to endure any type of economic turmoil. I am simply delighted to have the opportunity to update Hug Your Customers. I hope you enjoy it, and I sure hope it inspires you to try out a few hugs. Prologue. Doesn't everyone? It's funny how an offhand comment at the right moment can end up crystallizing a lifetime's worth of learning. That's sort of what happened to me. My family and I run Mitchell's Family of Stores, a profitable high-end men's and women's clothing and jewelry business that was founded in Connecticut in 1958. Today we do well over $125 million in sales. Back in 2001, I was invited to be a panelist at a conference that Fairchild Publications sponsored for chief executive officers in our apparel industry. The conference was held at a resort in the pleasantly named city of Carefree, Arizona. Not many of the attendees, however, were feeling especially carefree. There had been almost relentless bashing of the retail industry, and it was getting everyone down. Department stores were struggling mightily against discounters. Dot-commers were going to change the retail world, and people were complaining that customer service was truly dismal. The topic of the panel discussion I was on pretty much summed up the somber mood. Apparel's black hole. But it didn't sum up my mood. It's a rare day you'll find me anything but exuberant. It's just the way I'm built. Glasses are never half empty to my eye. They're 5/8 full. Many times, they're full or overflowing. Even before the panel members were introduced, one of the keynote speakers and organizers of the event, in remarking on the decline in customer service, said he doubted many of the several hundred executives in attendance even knew who their top 100 customers were. He asked for a show of hands. Who knew their top 100 customers? My hand shot up. When I looked around, I couldn't see anyone else with a hand raised. I was actually a little embarrassed to have my hand waving in the air, but mainly taken aback that no one else knew such basic and valuable information about their business. When I'm bored at home, rather than reading a book, I often punch the button on my computer and put in parameters to pull up our top 100 customers, or top 1,000 customers, men and women, and I studied them like I was studying vocabulary words for the SATs. The names go into one of the attic rooms of my brain and lodge there. As I once knew all the stats on Joe DiMaggio and Mickey Mantle, I now try to know all the stats on my top 1,000 customers, because that's the game, knowing the customer. Once the panelists were introduced, we were each allotted 7 minutes to say something insightful on the topic of the black hole. My take was quite a bit different from the others. The first thing I said was that I viewed retailing today not as a black hole, but as a volcano. I saw it as a combination of energy, light, heat, and good things to come from the explosion. The trick was having the proper approach. I mentioned how astonished I was that my peers didn't know their top 100 customers. I said, hopefully without sounding pompous, I know my top 1,000 customers. I told how at Mitchell's, everyone from the sales associate to the tailor to the delivery person concentrated on the customer, and in doing so, we got remarkable results. I was thinking of all the customers we have that spend $5,000 a year after year at our stores, about the customers that spend $20,000 a year and those that spend $100,000. We even have a few that spend $250,000. That's right, $250,000 a year on clothes at our stores. I was thinking about how we embrace every customer with a friendly greeting and a smile. I thought about the 24 sales associates who write at least $1 million a year in business. It used to be unheard of for anyone to do $1 million in sales, but now we expect that the first year someone joins us. We even have 5 associates who write $2 million and one who writes an unthinkable $3 million in Westport, a town of 28,000 people. That's a lot of suits and dresses, and we sell them one at a time, one customer at a time. I went on to relate some of the stories about the elaborate and at times adventuresome extent we go to in order to exceed the expectations of our customers. Once I had exhausted my 7 minutes, I was really pumped. I get that way when I talk about our business.